Morning students, welcome back to Atmiya Green School. I'm Afrin Sayed, your English teacher. Dear students, today I'm going to start with a new chapter that is the cherry tree. In the story Cherry Tree, written by Ruskin Bond, is a mixture of emotions, life lessons, the journey of life, the motive, the growth of human life, the growth of plants. The uh, tree and a little boy Rakesh is being compared with the reality of the life, where it is shown that how life moves, how it takes turns, and how it requires a lot more nurture and care. The story has a lot to say, a lot to discuss. Before I start with the story, I would like to give a short summary about the story. In The Cherry Tree by Ruskin Bond, we have the theme of struggle, resilience, dedication, conflict, growth, responsibility, and pride. Taken from his collected short stories collection, the story is narrated in the third person by an unnamed narrator. And after reading the story, the reader realizes that Bond may be exploring the theme of struggle, the theme of human struggle, the theme of a life to exist, the theme of existence of life on earth. How difficult it is to survive in the world, how difficult it is to fight with the circumstances. Taken from his collected stories, that is Ruskin Bond Stories collection, the story is narrated in a very beautiful manner. The seed that Rakesh plants incurs many difficulties before it grows to become a cherry tree. Just as an individual may struggle in life, so too does the cherry tree. However, what is interesting is the resilience that the cherry tree shows. It is as though the cherry tree refuses to be defeated by life. If anything, the cherry tree becomes more resilient as it grows. The fact that Rakesh also nurtures the cherry tree might be important, as Bond may be suggesting that just as a cherry tree may need a little help to grow, so too do the people. Look around, students. We have a lot many people who mold us, who structure us, who guide us, who show us right and wrong, who help us to become a better human being, who help us to become a good human being. Sometimes there are some moments where we feel helpless, where we feel that we are not that worthy. But there are some people in our life who makes us realize that how important we are for them, how important our existence is for them. There are people in our life who give lot and lot of warmth, lot and lot of care and love, which help us to grow, which help us to show up our potential, which help us never to give up. Yes, students, we are human creature which are in thirst of love and care. We always kept searching for love and care. And from wherever we receive love and care, we are being thankful, we are being grateful, and that is something which can never be come to an end. We keep on searching for it. We keep on asking for it. It is something which might never mm, get over. We can never get over it. Like there is not a particular point of time where we will feel that no, that much is enough. This much love, concern, and care is much more enough. It is a lot. It is a lot. We always require much and much and much, whether it can be from our parents, from our siblings, from our teachers, and most importantly, yes, of course, your friends, your classmates. We requires the acceptance, we requires the love, we require care, and that can be from anywhere. From our loved ones, we get a lot of care. So here it says that the fact that Rakesh also nurtures the cherry tree might be important as Bond may be suggesting that just as the cherry tree may need a little help to grow, so too do the people. Those who are nurtured and cared for in life have a better chance of success, like the cherry tree, than those who may be left abandoned or forgotten about. Something that Rakesh does not do. He constantly keeps an eye on the cherry tree to ensure that everything is okay, which may highlight the dedication that Rakesh has. Just as the just as the cherry tree mirrors the struggle that an individual might incur in life, it is also possible that Bond is suggesting sorry that in life comes conflict too, something which is very much the case for the cherry tree. It is defenseless at first against any possible predators due to its size, but as it grows, it becomes stronger and stronger, which may be symbolically important as a bond, could be suggesting that an individual, as they grow, not only physically, will also become stronger. If anything, with growth comes the ability to overcome adversity. What also makes the cherry tree so important to Rakesh is the fact that he has been responsible for its growth. Just as a parent might help a child, just like our parents does to us, so too has a Rakesh helped the cherry tree. He has never forgotten his responsibility. There is a sense that Rakesh has been rewarded for his patience. The cherry tree is able to look after itself, just as child might when he or she matures into adulthood. No longer does Rakesh have to worry about the cherry tree, just as parents may no longer have to worry about a child when he or she becomes an adult. Rakesh's grandfather may also be an important character, as he in many ways acts as a guide for Rakesh, a path shower for Rakesh. It is through his help that Rakesh is able to ensure that cherry tree grows to become stronger. This may be significant as there are many similarities between Rakesh and the cherry tree. As Rakesh grows taller and stronger, so too does the cherry tree. The reader aware that both have been helped as assisted by Rakesh's grandfather. It is as though Bond is suggesting that with the age comes wisdom and ability to be kind to others. The reader already knows that without Rakesh's grandfather help, Rakesh would not be in school, which may be bit some critics to suggest that Bond is highlighting the importance of family. When it comes to an individual growth, family is one of the most important part of our life as individual. They help us to grow in many ways. Just look around, students. We have our grandparents with life experiences, with life lessons. As many wrinkles they have on their skins, the more life experiences and lessons they have, the more stories they narrate, the more warmth and love and compassion they show to us. They might be little more caring, and sometimes their love can be too much for us because they have abundance of love to share for us. Look at your parents. They can sacrifice anything for you. If it requires, then they can sacrifice even their most dearest thing they have. They sacrificed their life itself for us. You might have seen your parents have forgotten to live for them as they are so busy to satisfy us, to see us happy, to make us smile, to give everything which requires, to share everything which requires. All their efforts are just and just for us. Both our mother and father have given everything to us. The most dearest thing that is our life has been gifted by them. They take care of us. They might forget to take care of themselves, but they do take care of us. They wake up at night. They wake up during midnights and check us whether we are safe and secure or not, whether we are sleeping peacefully or not. Since our childhood to our adulthood, they sacrificed their peace, they sacrificed their life, they have sacrificed their sleeps, they have sacrificed their favorite food, they have sacrificed each and everything just for us. Look at your siblings. They might fight, they might take away your things, but they are the most dearest to us. As we laugh with them, we cry with them, we spend the most beautiful memories of our life with them. They are partners in crime to us. Look at your friends. Though we do not live under the same roof 24 by 7, but we somehow share our lives with them. Just like that, the importance of family is a lot to us. Students, here, the grandfather helped Rakesh to build, to grow. So, here, the importance of family is shown. When it comes to individual growth, just as Rakesh might have a responsibility towards a cherry tree, so too does the Rakesh grandfather have a responsibility towards Rakesh. The result being that Rakesh, through the help of his grandfather, is living a healthy and balanced life. He is being even led by his grandfather along the right path in life. Just as the cherry tree is being nurtured by Rakesh, Rakesh in turn is being nurtured by his grandfather. The end of the story is also interesting as there is a sense that Rakesh knows what it feels like to create something, to give life in something, and more importantly, to see it reach its potential. Through hard work and dedication, Rakesh has successfully seen the cherry tree grow from strength to strength to the point where it no longer needs the protection of Rakesh or his grandfather, which may be symbolically important as Rakesh has played the role of parent when it comes to a cherry tree's development. He was constantly by the cherry tree's side, just as a parent might be with a child. He was urging the cherry tree, sorry, students, he was urging the cherry tree on so that it could reach its potential again, just as a parent might urge on of the children. At every stage of the children, at every stage of the story, Rakesh has behaved in a manner that is befits, benefiting of a parent. It's just that on this occasion, Rakesh's responsibility was not to a child, but to a young cherry tree that at times needed his help in order to survive in a world where there is not only struggle but conflict too. If anything, Rakesh has every right to feel proud of himself and of the cherry tree. He has cared for and nurtured the cherry tree and its seed. We will see that how a cherry tree can grow. Rakesh just randomly threw a cherry seed and that started to shoot into a twig. He took care of it but was impatient to wait for its natural growth, and so left it uncut. But with all its strong resilient power, the cherry tree wins over the nature and starts to grow. And Rakesh giving it a little more care. Rakesh was delighted to see its growth and starts to take care of it again, along with its grandfather. So he was ecstatic to, to see the tree bloom with the beautiful flowers, and the thought that he was going to get the fruit from the tree that he planted made him feel so great. The author has beautifully portrayed the beauty of the nurture and climate of Missouri through the character of Rakesh, who is so kind towards the grandfather and the cherry tree. The author symbolically compares goodness and growth. Rakesh was delighted to see its growth and starts to take care of it again, along with his grandfather. The author has beautifully portrayed the beauty of nature and climate of Missouri through the character of Rakesh, who is so kind towards his grandfather and the cherry tree. The author symbolically compares the goodness to godliness. So, here was a brief summary of the story. I had discussed every part of the story. Now, we'll go through the video too to make it more easier, more simpler, and to go through lines given in your textbook. I'll play a video for your students.
Tree. One day, when Rakesh was 6, he walked from the Mussoorie bazaar, eating cherries. They were a little sweet, a little sour, small, bright red cherries. They had come all the way from the Kashmir Valley. Rakesh lived with his grandpa on the outskirts of Mussoorie, just where the forest began. Grandpa was a retired forest ranger. He had a little cottage outside the town. Rakesh
Grandpa was a forest ranger. Okay, Rakesh grandfather was a forest ranger.
was on his way home from school when he bought the cherries. It took him about half an hour to walk home, and by the time he reached the cottage, there were only 3 cherries left. Have a cherry, Grandpa. Grandfather took a cherry, and Rakesh promptly ate the other 2. He kept the last seed in his mouth for some time, rolling it around on his tongue until all the tang had gone. Then he placed the seed on the palm of his hand and studied it. "Are cherry seeds lucky?" asked Rakesh. "Of course," said Grandpa. "Then I'll keep it." "Nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must make it work for you." "What can I do with the seed?" "Plant it." Rakesh went to a corner of the garden, where the earth was soft and yielding. He did not have to dig. He pressed the seed into the soil with his thumb, and it went right in. Then he had his lunch and ran off to play cricket with his friends, and forgot all about the cherry seed. One spring morning in the garden, Rakesh bent to pick up what he thought was a small twig in the garden, and found to his surprise that it was well rooted. He stared at it for a moment, and then ran to fetch Grandpa, calling, "Dada, come and look. The cherry tree has come up." "What cherry tree?" "The seed we planted last year. Look, it's come up." Rakesh
You can see the happiness on Rakesh's face when he saw the little seed growing into a twig. He was very much excited to see the life.
went down on his haunches, while Grandpa bent almost double and peered down at the tiny tree. It was about 4 inches high. "Yes, it's a cherry tree. You should water it now and then." Rakesh ran indoors and came back with a bucket of gave it a sprinkling and circled it with pebbles. What are the pebbles for? For privacy. He looked at the tree
He circled the pebbles around the tree so that they can enough of privacy.
every morning, but it did not seem to be growing. So he stopped looking at it. Except
So what the Rakesh is a little child who is very much impatient, who wants the tree to grow in a night. But it cannot happen. It takes time. It takes time to grow. Yes, students. So what happens that Rakesh every morning go and look at the tree that whether it has grown into a little plant has grown into the tree or not, but it is not, it is growing, but it is growing little. So then he stopped looking after.
once in a while, quickly, out of the corner of his eye. And after a week or two, when he allowed himself to look at it properly, he found that it had grown at
Yes.
least
Then after a time he saw that it is growing.
an inch. That year, the monsoon rains came early, and Rakesh plodded to and from school in raincoat and gumboots. It was about 2 feet high when a goat entered the garden and ate all the leaves. Only the
Yes.
main
So what happened? Now the goat came and ate all the leaves on the tree.
stem
On a plant. Sorry, now it's not a tree, it's just a plant for now.
and 2 thin branches remained. Never mind, said Grandpa, seeing it will grow again. Cherry trees are tough. Towards the end of the rainy
Yes.
season,
What
new
happened?
leaves appeared on the tree.
When Rakesh is upset on uh, being seen that the plant was already ate by a goat, then his grandfather says that don't worry, cherry trees are very tough and they can survive.
Then a runaway cart rumbled down the hill and snapped the young tree in half.
Yes. Then once a cart rumbled it and snapped that tree plant into two parts.
When Grandpa saw what had happened, he went after the cart owner and scolded him, but the damage could not be repaired. By the time summer came round again, it had sent several new shoots with tender green leaves. As time passed, Rakesh grew taller too. He was 8 now, a sturdy boy
Yes, now Rakesh has grown up. Now he's not 6, but now he is 8 years old.
with curly black hair and deep black eyes.
Yes, curly black hairs and deep black eyes, which were giving a very charming look to Rakesh.
Blackberry, Grandpa called them. One day, he found a bright green praying mantis perched on a branch, peering at him with bulging eyes. Rakesh let it remain there. It was the cherry tree's first visitor. The next visitor was a hairy caterpillar who started making a meal of the leaves. Rakesh removed it quickly and dropped it on a heap of dry leaves. Come back when you are a butterfly. Winter came early. The cherry tree bent low with the weight of snow. Field mice sought shelter in the roof of the cottage. The road from the valley was blocked, and for several days there was no newspaper. And this made Grandpa quite grumpy. In February, it was Rakesh's birthday. He was 9, and the tree was 4, but almost as tall as Rakesh. One morning, when the sun came out, Grandpa came into the garden.
Yes, now look, when you saw it was a little seed, that little seed grew into a little plant, and someday, after a lot more struggle, after so many difficulties, and that little Rakesh growing along with the tree, today the cherry tree has turned into a flourishing, strong tree with rooted deeply inside the soil.
Let some warmth get into my bones, he said. He stopped in front of the cherry tree, stared at it for a few moments, and then called out, Rakesh, come and look! Come quickly before it falls! Rakesh and Grandpa gazed at the tree as though it had performed a miracle. There was a pale pink blossom at the end of a branch. In the cherry tree, bees came to feed on the nectar in the blossoms, and tiny birds pecked at the blossoms and broke them off. But the tree kept blossoming right through the spring, and there were always more blossoms than birds. That summer, there were small cherries on the tree. Rakesh tasted one and spat it out. It's too sour. They'll be better next year, said Grandpa. But the birds liked them, especially the bigger birds, such as the bulbuls and scarlet minivets. And they flitted in and out of the foliage, feasting on the cherries. On a warm sunny afternoon, when even the bees looked sleepy, Rakesh was looking for Grandpa without finding him in any of his favorite places around the house. He looked out of the bedroom window and saw Grandpa reclining on a cane chair. There is just the right amount of shade here, and I like looking at the leaves. They're pretty leaves, said Rakesh, and they're always ready to dance if there's breeze. There are so many trees in the forest. What's so special about this tree? Why do we like it so much? We planted it ourselves, said Grandpa. That's why it's special. Just one small seed. How it changed. Just like you, he said to himself. One day, I will tell my children how Dada and I planted this cherry tree many years ago when I was 6. The cherry tree.
Yes. So you saw
One
the
day,
beautiful,
when Rakesh,
story, and what he says that one day I will say, I'll narrate the story that how Dada and he planted the tree. I hope it was very much useful to you and you understood it very well. And the entire chapter was um, briefly discussed with you, and I have even shared a summary with you. And saw um, and you have even saw a video which is which consists of lines picked up from your textbook and beautifully explained with the help of animation. I hope you understood it well and it was very much useful to you all. Students, I request you to read it once from your textbook so it becomes more clear. Okay, when you go through each and every line from your textbook, then it is very much helpful to you as well as it helps you to understand how it works and how it should be done. Okay, how how the entire syllabus should be covered. Okay, and when you can't eat up everything at once, but one bite at a time. Just like that, one chapter at a time. Read it thoroughly, read it carefully. If you stuck somewhere, if you don't understand something, then watch the video again. You can keep watching the video um, till you don't understand. Okay, so students, take care of yourself, pray for yourself as well as of your family and for the world, which is facing a very tough situation. So pray for everyone around you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.